beautiful people.
Hi guys.
Welcome to another episode of Something Like. My name is Shaitan.
And my name is Baba.
And we have missed you guys.
Yes.
How
And
are you?
we hope you missed us too.
Yeah. How are you, Bubs?
I'm okay. A little bit sleepy. Like I just really want to catch a very good nap right now. Like
before work.
yes, but I'm also excited to be here. So
Yeah.
it's always good.
Same. I'm okay. I'm alright. So just I think. See, I don't think there will ever be enough sleep. Like, sleep is big. You're not thinking about anything, just sleeping.
And when you go through the day, right, Monday to Friday, you always feel like you've not had enough sleep.
Yeah.
No matter how long you sleep.
I know. It's interesting. But yeah, anyway, I think we'll start today's topic by talking about a video we saw yesterday. A friend of ours showed us a video from a part of Kensington, Philadelphia.
Yeah.
And it was just a long-ish video of people who were addicted to substances.
It was quite a sight.
Yeah, you'd see them bent over backwards in awkward positions. It was, I was like, is everything okay? Like,
they were obviously homeless because they were all living in the streets. You could see like tents, shacks, or some didn't even have anything. Like they were just there. And
then so us watching that video now we went into sort of a rabbit hole, and then we came across this video about this Nigerian pastor who helps people in slums in Nigeria. I don't even know if slums is the right word,
just people dealing with addictions.
People dealing with addiction. It goes to the places where they are, right? So this is not someone dealing with addiction in their house. This is where
out on the streets.
On the streets, fetches them, cleans them up, changes their lives. And you see such huge transformation that these people go through
physically.
What? There was one that was really
skinny. And she looked like she was so old.
Yeah.
But
it was scary what hard drugs had done to her life.
Because the next time we saw her, she was all chubby, the cheeks, everything.
Her complexion was different.
Yeah.
Absolutely different.
And it's like, whoa.
Yeah. So it sort of got us into having this conversation about addictions. What are addictions? And even amongst ourselves yesterday, because we had a gathering of friends.
We
and we're talking about what exactly is an addiction. What is there anything that how do I put it? Like some people say that you can be addicted to certain things that are not even hard drugs, right? And do you agree with that? So we had that whole back and forth.
Yeah, we just thought it would be good to come share this conversation with you guys.
Again, we at the end of this want to know what you guys think. Because it's a conversation that I believe that some people would disagree with some of the things we say, and that is fine. Or even us may disagree at some point.
I guess
on what addictions are. But really, I think generally, we probably should start from the meaning of addiction, definition. What is addiction? So addiction basically is, according to this Google dictionary, the fact or condition of being addicted to a particular substance, thing, or activity. So now this dictionary isn't saying just a substance, right? Or even an activity. So going by this, if you're eating every day, is that an addiction? No, of course not. But I mean, if you're obsessed with, let's say you're eating rice every day, and you cannot do without eating rice, I believe you're probably addicted to rice. What do you think?
I guess. So a lot of times, I think, what was the definition again?
It says the fact or condition of being addicted to a particular substance.
Why are they using the word addiction again? Okay.
Yeah, because
go ahead.
Yeah, to a particular substance, thing, or activity.
Okay. So I think the line might be I expected that definition to include like when it's like detrimental or harmful. So I believe that's like the line that separates habit from addiction.
Okay.
So with habit, you would call it a habit when it's like just something beneficial or just little or no effect on you. Like, oh, he has a habit of just after work he would sit on his balcony. That's a habit. He does that every day. Between so time and so time. You wouldn't call that
an addiction.
It's just a habit.
I feel you.
But when someone is, continuously doing something that has a negative impact on them, or using or eating something that has a negative impact on them, and they are not able to stop it, then you will call that an addiction. I think that's the difference. So rice you might call an addiction if someone is eating it to the point of maybe they've been warned by a doctor or a dietitian not to eat rice because maybe blood sugar level or they are obese or some other health issue, and they are still not able to stop eating rice.
They just want their rice.
They just want their rice. When you say they should not eat rice, they know what's going to happen to them. They know their sugar level is going to spike. But I must eat rice. Then I believe it becomes an addiction. But someone that they just like to eat rice every day, or rice is what is affordable for them, and they just eat rice every day, I guess not.
So what's the difference between a bad habit then and an addiction? Because I feel like there's almost a blur line.
Yes. So a bad habit would be something you do over and over that has a bad effect, like I said, a negative impact on you.
Like picking your nose is a bad habit.
Yes, but I think a bad habit is usually easier to stop
than an addiction. Okay.
So I think there's a thin line. A bad habit could also become an addiction, especially when you get to that point of trying to break it. And it's like, you're struggling. It's almost like your body is shaking when you don't do this thing or when you don't take this thing. Then at that point you might start getting into the zone of now I think I'm addicted to this thing. So
it's just important to mention that addiction is not just with hard drugs. It's not just with alcohol or cigarettes. You can be addicted to sugar. It's crazy, but
just need a
and
sugar
you don't
rush.
know, because you just think that or even coffee.
Coffee is like
I think
major one
people
that
are addicted to coffee, but they're living in denial.
When
you start saying things, apart from those who just say it as a statement
just to
they
feel
say
cool
whenever they make a mistake or you make a blunder or whatever, right? For many people, they cannot function without their cup of coffee. They really cannot, and it's
not just even with the cup of coffee. The coffee has to kick in. They have become so dependent on it that the caffeine in the coffee has to kick in before they are now able to.
Before they are awake, like, now I'm up. And people really don't know how much of a drug coffee is. I think I take coffee as a drug when I need to be alert and do something, and I'm aware of how addictive it can be, so I try to stay away from it as much as I can. Because I just remembered one time I had to stay awake for an exam, and I took a cup of coffee. I was not myself. I was not well that period. I really was not well. I wanted to sleep, but my eyes were open. I till date I cannot explain what was wrong with me or how I was feeling. But I knew that my body, something is wrong with me right now, and I don't like it. Especially, when you're like, I must not even mistakenly fall asleep, and then you put like so much, especially if you're using the processed one. You put like 3 or 4 spoons of it in a small cup. You can lose your mind.
Yes, because you're so alert.
Yeah.
Like, your brain is like,
I was
blood
wide
is rushing
awake.
to your brain.
I was not in a good place, and which is why I then thought about, and another way for you to know that you're addicted to coffee, have 1 cup today, and your body you're still yawning, you're still feeling like, oh God, what is this? Tomorrow, have 2. And you see that, finally I'm back to myself.
You
and
have to start increasing.
You have to start increasing your dosage. I call it a dosage. You have to start increasing your dosage as soon as the previous one that was giving you what you needed, as soon as the effect wears out, because it will with time, right? Then you have to start increasing your dosage and things like that. And even with, back to what I was saying about sugar, there are people I know that
soda,
drink 1 cup of 1 bottle of soda a day. It may be Coke, which I think is the most addictive of all. I don't even know why you could put that thing in your mouth. Why people drink? I'm sorry. It's very it's
I love fizzy drinks, but go on.
It does something that I don't understand.
I don't know what you mean.
To my mouth and then my chest and my.
That's the idea.
Carbonated drinks every second
makes your. They make your mouth come alive, like
come alive. It wasn't dead before.
The gas.
I beg.
Okay, go ahead.
But I knew someone who would. When I used to hear the story about this person in secondary school that would take sugar, or was it Coke, and then he's like really hyper and shaking, and he's able to do things. I'm like, come on, you need to be calming down. No, don't go and lose your mind because you're taking 1 bottle of Coke a day or whatever, carbonated drink or soda it may be. So I do think there's those types of addictions that people really
don't pay attention to.
They don't know that they are. And I also think there's a social media one.
Yeah.
Me, I would say.
Or just phone.
Yeah.
Even.
I would say that I'm almost there.
Yeah, I'm in denial.
I'm in the bad habits.
I think you're in denial.
We said there is a thin line between a bad habit and addiction.
Okay.
I think I'm in the bad habit.
If you say so.
Because you know why? Because I can always switch off my phone and concentrate when I need to.
For how long?
For however long I need to.
Okay, that's good.
But if I have it on with me and beside me, then there's always the temptation to pick it and look through and be there and spend time. So when I know that I need to work and do things,
maybe it's still a bad habit.
Yes,
but some people absolutely cannot do without their phone.
Exactly.
Like,
I'm one of those people who has almost everything on my phone. My Bible is on my phone. The funny thing is I have an alarm clock, but the way the alarm clock is just gathering dust where it is because I don't even use it, right?
I think it's everyone.
Yeah, a lot of things that I have on my phone. So it's like, hey, if I lose my phone, just quickly kill me. My notes, everything. Like, what is not on that phone?
Yeah.
So I think it's one of the reasons why it's such a bad habit for me.
I think it's for almost everyone in this new age, this new world. Like, we've come to be there are some rare people like that.
Rare.
But generally we've come to be so dependent on our phones. Like, you believe that's like your gateway to be in touch with what's happening. That's how you cope with boredom. That's how you cope with loneliness. That's how you keep up with your friends and family, what's happening.
Exactly.
So we've just become so dependent on the phone that some people will almost go crazy if they are not with their phones. So
which is why I said my own is not an addiction, because I wouldn't go crazy. It's just sometimes I see it there. It's like, there's food in front of me and asking me not to eat it. So that is sometimes what happens to me if I'm looking at my phone. Why should I not press it? If it's away from me, if it's switched off, then I'm like, I'm good. I can concentrate on what I'm doing. So I'm able to discipline myself to the extent of switching it off and keeping it away from me, right? And only using it when I really need to, only putting it back on when I really need to.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think, that said, establishing all these other, I mean, it's an addiction to shopping.
Oh yes,
spending money.
Yes. That's absolutely.
I'm sorry, I wouldn't even call that one a bad habit. It is addictive.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like, wow, I've not spent money this week. Oh wow, no, that's not.
Yeah, absolutely. Like people, it's actually a serious problem, because people, and I mean, addictions generally, I think they're mental health issues. Not I think they're mental health issues, and this also falls into that category, like spending, because people spend money that they don't even have.
Yeah.
Like they're so addicted to shopping that they would rack in thousands of dollars or whatever currency of debt on credit cards, on lines of credit, and you're like, what? I was reading a case yesterday, interestingly, and the husband of this woman, it was the child that was writing this, like, on a forums, asking for, like, okay, what do we do, how can we help this woman? And she had like 22K on one credit card, 24K on the line of credit, and all of that and all that
maxed out.
Yeah. Jeez. Like that was like what she had, and she had like 22% interest rate. So it's like, and so the husband helped and cleared off.
Oh wow,
like
nice
someone, like I mean, so helped and cleared off. But this woman has racked up everything again.
Isn't that grounds for divorce?
and then this woman is asking the man to take a line of credit against their home or sell their home so that she can pay off.
Are you normal?
So the child was asking for, okay, what's the best way that they can help this woman, what can they do, and all of that. And people were just saying, okay, this is like a major mental health issue, that she needs to go to therapy, she needs serious help, like ASAP. Yes. So that when you brought that up, that just reminded me, like, yes, like people actually really struggle with spending money. It's a different thing that you just have to enjoy yourself, like, yes, take care of yourself, self-care and all of that. That's not what we're talking about. Like, when you start spending money so that you don't have a saving habit, you cannot, once you get this paycheck, it's not because you have responsibilities, but you're just spending money frivolously, and you're even spending the money that you don't have, just racking up debt upon debt. No, so that's a problem.
And I feel like people who are addicted to hard drugs, they even have two forms of addiction here. Because what they do is, after spending all their money on buying this thing that they're addicted to, they start borrowing money, stealing, and doing all those other things.
Oh yeah, it opens the
just
door to,
so that
because they have to get the fix.
This. Yeah, so that they can buy what this drug, this substance that they need to keep them in that high state that they want to be, and things like that. And it's also funny how people get into these situations where they are addicted. That was
to where I was going next to, like, okay, so I was going to ask that, like, how do people actually get to this point, like, and for every addiction, it started small.
100%.
That's the interesting thing. For every addiction, it started even before it became a bad habit. It started like just something you just a little bit here and there. And I believe that it's just, we need to always be on guard. We need to always be able to check ourselves, like, just be careful of what you're becoming too dependent on. Like there should never be anything or even anyone apart from our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ that you're like 100% totally dependent on. Like, oh no, I have to do this, or I have to eat this, or I must drink this, I must see this person before I'm okay, before I'm able to function. So like you should never get to that point of unhealthy dependence on anything to function. So I believe it always starts small. Just a cup of coffee here and there. You're doing it just because you like the smell. Oh, coffee smells so good, and you start noticing that I feel good. Okay, I'll take more tomorrow. I'll take. Then it becomes, oh, I have to take it every day. I have to take more. So like, or you're sitting at your desk at work, as your one cup is getting emptied, you are going to fill up a mug again. You must always be sipping on it. Like it just, and is that way to it. Hard drugs. You start with just crack. Weed, and then I need to get something more. And then it keeps going higher. And also maybe keeping back company when it comes to like hard drugs and like the really harmful stuff, like keeping the wrong company, being with people that are really wild, like, so your lifestyle too will probably make you open to certain things. And there are some things that even just having one fix will get you hooked. I think there's some like that, like you just would always, so it's better not to even take it at all.
Don't try.
Yeah, so there are some things like that, like don't even get started, because you are never going to be able to stop without help. So
and to buttress the point of the company you keep, one of the videos we watched yesterday, the girl was talking about how it was just weed she used to smoke, and the next thing I think she noticed she was behaving different after smoking this weed. Like she was getting a certain level of high, and she asked her boyfriend, and apparently the boyfriend used to lace it with heroin. And
with cocaine.
Was it cocaine? Okay, with cocaine. And then she started, that's how she got into that one. She graduated, and she graduated into that level, and obviously it would progress from there on. And she was crying, and there are some people who really want out of this.
I think even for most of them, they have, once they are not like on that like when it comes to like the really hard drugs now, they don't like the way they're living. And for some of them, that it's part of the reasons why they keep going deeper, because now they're homeless, they don't have relationships, they're alone, they can't keep a job, so they then keep, because the being high gets you into a state of mindlessness. You don't care like what's going on. You're not thinking, you wipe away your sorrows in quotes. So it pushes them to, even, it's part of, apart from the fact that now their body is craving it, they also even want it to drown out the sadness and all of it. So I think for a lot of them, they actually know that, okay, I'm not living a good life, I'm not okay. It's just that they've gone so far that now they're helpless. How do they get help? Even when they try by themselves, a lot of times they can't. Like their bodies will actually fight it. Even you will hear about people breaking out from rehabs, or people even being clean and then they get triggered and then they go back. It's really tough. It's better to do everything to not get addicted than to try to break an addiction. So and I think that would bring us to, okay, someone that is addicted to anything, could even be masturbation, pornography, drugs or whatever, even coffee or sugar. So what can people do?
I think seek help, talk to someone about it before it gets to a state where it has eaten so deeply into you. Have someone you can talk to, because all these things, they thrive in secrecy, right? When you expose it and you see, like, it's no longer a secret. Everybody now, there's no hiding, there's no shame. It's like, well, let everybody just know that this is how this thing is doing me. Now they are able to help you. If they say, oh, come, where are you going to again? Are you going to buy drugs? They're able to help you, and shift you back to focus, right? So I think, first of all, like, let people know about it, seek help. Even contact, like, the mental health organizations, mental addiction specialists available. I think it's very important to contact those people, or those types of organizations. I also think that, because as Christians, we are very much helped, right? Because, like, this person we're talking about, this pastor who does this thing, he's a Christian, right? Helps people, and he doesn't just take them out of the streets and take these, like, help them get clean. Also gives them stuff to do, right? So sort of have to be able to replace whatever it is you are addicted to, rather, with something else. Because you cannot just come and say, oh wow, you're clean. What are you supposed to do next to your life? No, you're supposed to fill in that void, right? And don't be idle. Your mind should always be busy, and not busy thinking about how you're going to go back to get high. You should always be busy, thinking, okay, what's the next thing I can lay my hands on? Be restless like B is, learning everything and everything, right? So I think those are the ways, like, someone can help. There was a time I deleted social media from my phone, and I replaced it with, I think I was doing more reading then. I was looking at Pinterest more, because I had a project that I wanted to do, that kind of thing. So I did not just, oh wow, no more Twitter and Instagram on my phone.
You can't just be there and just staring into space.
You have to fill in that void, right? So I think those are the ways that people can.
I think you've touched on some of the things I would have said. Like, it's very, very important to replace these things. Even she's already mentioned, like, social media. I do these things too. I think I got Audible, I got Kindle. Like, okay, read books instead. Like, so instead of, anytime you feel like you need to read something, instead of going to social media and just scrolling, you continue reading a book. And we know that you might be on the go. So, like, because I also got, like, actual books I can hold. I know that might not always work, because you don't want to just carry a book around and then lose it. But you can read ebooks, you can listen to podcasts like ours, you can listen. So replacing with something helpful, that's always it. Even not just addictions or just bad habits generally, replacing with something. For example, if you are trying to get off coffee, you can try with decaffeinated coffee. Like, smells the same, tastes somewhat the same for the most part, except people that are really coffee lovers, and they will tell you, this is horrible. So then gradually get into taking healthier stuff, like tea if you can, hot chocolates, just trying to, every now and then, if you feel like, then you can just take your coffee, your regular coffee, but you've been able to wean your body off that. So I mean, those kind of things help with, like, the simpler things, right? So then, like she said, get help, and know that you're not a bad person. You're not so because it's very easy to feel so condemned, like, oh, I have no discipline, I have no self-control. How is it that this person, you might even have friends that maybe you got introduced to some of these things at the same time,
and
they are like, I've never taken it after that time, or I only take it once in a while, or whatever the case is. And I'm like, but so why am I this way? So that makes you shrink back and move away from people, and that's not helpful. Like, you need a community around you. So, and if people are trying to help, don't think that they are trying to like bring you down or saying that you're not good enough. No, you're good enough, and know that God loves you. God died for you. Like, he's willing and open and ready to have a relationship with you. And if you're already a Christian and you still slip into some of these bad habits, or you are addicted, know that you are helped. Seek help, medical and professional help, and spiritual help. Like, spiritual guidance also helps, but don't neglect like actual therapy. If you are going to, sometimes they have to do things like detox, like, and you actually need professional help, because you can hurt your loved ones. I'm talking about like the very severe addictions now. So, but ultimately, know that no matter how deep into that abyss that you are, like, God still loves you. He's reaching out for you. And again, this is like a reminder to every believer out there: look out for people around you, shine as God's light, show love. Like, people that are addicted even to small things, to big things, need to be reminded of God's love for them. And we are like representations, we are God's representatives. We're there to show them that love, like, firsthand, right? Before they are able to have that encounter. So let's be kind to people, let's help in whatever ways that we can, let's preach the gospel, and that's it.
What we said.
Anyway, so that brings us to the end of this episode. So please, let's know your thoughts. Are there bad habits that you have? What do you think about some of the things that we've said, that it's possible to for you to be addicted to them? We would love to hear from you. Don't forget to share this episode and even other episodes of our podcast with friends and family. We'd love to get this good message, this good thing that we're doing shouldn't be under the shade, right? It should be out there. So subscribe to our YouTube channel, Something Like Podcast, and follow us on social media, Twitter and Instagram, _lightpod. And so subscribe also to Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Like I said, keep shining as the light that you are, and we'll see you next time. Bye.